Is Emperor Aiko good or bad? Is reproductive medicine okay if we bring out the Y chromosome of male lineage males? Interview with Nobuko Nakano Weekly Bunshun Digital conducted a series of interviews with experts from various fields on how to approach the issue of imperial succession. The biggest focus is on whether to recognize "female emperors" and "female emperors." This time, we asked neuroscientist Nobuko Nakano. There are multiple claims regarding the issue of imperial succession. There are many people who say that a female imperial family should be considered, and those who think that a female emperor should be allowed for one generation only, but many people agree that they want the imperial family to continue. I think it will match. There are many discussions surrounding this issue. I once again feel that this is proof that the entire nation has a strong interest in the imperial family. I believe this is an expression of the desire to respect the imperial family, have respect for it, and continue to respect it as an important entity. If there is no suitable male member in the male line to inherit the imperial throne, some people have suggested ways such as asking someone who has renounced the imperial family to return to the throne. Certainly, I think this is an effective way to avoid the problems at hand. However, if it becomes difficult to incorporate the system of having concubines that existed in the past because it is somewhat contradictory to the conventional wisdom of modern developed countries, the possibility that we will eventually face the same problem cannot be completely ruled out. Probably. I also fear that if we repeat the same argument each time, it will give an impression that it is somewhat strange from an international perspective. To put it in an extreme sense, it is not impossible to actively introduce reproductive medicine using the latest scientific biotechnology in order to maintain the imperial lineage. If you place importance on the principle that the order of "limited to males in the male line" must be faithfully followed, it may even be possible to have the option of having a surrogate mother give birth using genes from the male line of the imperial family. This means that it is possible. However, in reality, many people may be quite resistant to the introduction of the system of polygamy, which involves having concubines, and to the idea of relying on biotechnology. I'm sure there are quite a few people who get angry and think it's outrageous just to talk about something like that. While these issues are mixed, I believe that now is the time for the entire nation to think carefully about what it is that they really want to maintain regarding the imperial system. Taking advantage of the fact that the debate is heating up, Masu, what is the basis for insisting on the Y chromosome? From a neuroscience perspective, I am sometimes asked about the differences between men and women. Just as men and women are physically different, it can be said that their brains are also different. However, it is more common among researchers to believe that individual differences are greater than gender differences. From a neuroscientific perspective, the question of "what kind of person will become emperor" is a more important question than "who will become emperor? A man or a woman?" I am not in a position to judge whether it is okay to remain male lineage or whether female lineage should be recognized, so I do not want to participate in the debate. But if I analyze the current situation, I would say, "Is there a female lineage?" I don't think there's much point in the debate over whether or not it's true. This is because the current system cannot eliminate the concern that the maintenance of "male lineage boys" will eventually become impossible due to structural problems. If you still think that women of the female line should not be accepted, then you will be forced to think of an alternative system. However, we are also living in an era where the idea of dividing gender into two categories, male and female, is becoming outdated worldwide. Perhaps we need to be a little more conscious of the fact that the very wording of a female-lined emperor could be used to convey to the world that Japan is a country where women's rights are restricted. Yeah. There is a scale called the Gender Gap Index that shows the disparity between men and women. In 2018, Japan was ranked 110th out of 149 countries in the world. In other words, how can we explain the fact that the international community already views women living in Japan as pitiful, and on top of that, there is a principle that only men in the male line can become emperor? Are you going? My honest opinion is that it's not quite difficult. Komuro doesn't give in to pressure if the principle of male lineage is to be upheld. The pressure placed on women who marry into the imperial family from the people's high expectations of "maintaining the imperial lineage" will be immeasurable. You can easily imagine that those who join the imperial household from the civilian world are faced with a complete change in their lifestyle from the perspective of how they are looked at. And this can place a considerable emotional burden on them. When you think of someone who has the image of not succumbing to such pressure, one person that comes to mind may be Komuro, who has been reported to be Princess Mako's partner. However, from the perspective of the general public, I think it would be easier for people to accept the pressure if they felt it was too much and took it seriously. The reason why Ms. Komuro's engagement is currently being questioned is because of her financial problems, her mother's behavior, and her mother's behavior, which seems to be somewhat inappropriate for someone connected to the imperial family. It's probably because the pictures of her appearance were leaked. I don't particularly want to defend Mr. Komuro, but I wonder how the attitude of the reporters would have changed if the circumstances of this person had been different, such as having a great family background. And what do you all think? I had a simple question, maybe it was the question of whether to prioritize the will of an individual or one's duties as a member of the royal family is an issue that can arise in any country. In the British royal family, the news was broadcast all over the world every day and night, including Princess Anne's divorce and remarriage issue, Prince Charles's affair and divorce with Princess Diana, and Princess Diana's death after leaving the royal family. Bashing of the royal family ensued. However, I believe that the British people's respect for the royal family has not disappeared. What is really important is for each and every person to think carefully about what their priorities should be in order for the emperor, as the symbol of Japan, to be respected and loved by the people forever, and for the imperial family to continue. I think so. Moving forward with this discussion may require a more tolerant attitude and flexible thinking. However, the very act of having such a discussion has great meaning, and I have the hope that it will lead Japan and its people into a form more suitable for a new era.